What are some of the other challenges that you've faced as you've helped grow this company?
When I got on board with the franchisor company, we grew it to I think about 8 or 9 locations. And then we paused franchising because we were like, holy crap, like we've grown this far, but we don't really know how to best support and grow further. So we need to bring in people that are smarter than us. Yep.
So what are your next steps in this business? Where do you see this going?
The ultimate vision is to grow it to 300 or 400 locations, right? You look at a lot of home service brands. For example, here in Utah, I see Any Hour Plumbing all over the place, dude. They're bright red trucks all over. And so our vision is to become like that, right? A brand that everyone knows. It's a household name. It's my passion, dude, because I love showing these entrepreneurs, hey, here's what I did with my location, what worked with my own business. Now I can help you implement and also avoid the mistakes that I made.
Hello and welcome everyone. This is the Founder Scoop. My name is Jacob Lee, and today I have with me Kaden Terry. Thank you for coming, man.
Dude, absolutely. Excited to be here.
So Kaden, what is your business here at iHub?
Yeah, so I own bin blasters, garbage can cleaning. Never would have thought I'd be doing it, but I clean garbage cans.
That's crazy. So did you start this, or like was this your idea originally?
Yeah, so here's how it happens. So bin blasters, it's the largest garbage can cleaning company now in the U.S., right? We have 9 locations, and originally the original founder is Casey Everetson, and he started the very first location here in Utah County. And he grew it, and then he approached my dad and was like, hey, like I would love to scale this thing with franchising. Do you want to partner with me? And so my dad and I and my brother, we started the St. George location franchise. So we are the founders of that spot, and we're the franchisee.
Okay, cool.
So it's a unique model because with franchising, you have the franchisor, who's the parent company, and then the franchisee that gets all the tools and resources to run a successful business. It's being in business for yourself, but not by yourself with franchising. So we get a whole support team. So I've been doing that now for the past about 2.5 years, but I would say maybe like a bit ago, I reached out to Casey, the original founder, and I was like, hey, I would love to help you scale this thing. And so I came on and helped him open up more locations. So we opened up in Weber County, Logan, and Glasgow, Kentucky. So my role now, I'm on the franchisor team with Bin Blasters, and I'm helping them scale and open up more locations. So kind of wearing both hats.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So okay, let's take a step back. You said your dad was originally approached with this. Mm-hmm. Do you come from like an entrepreneurial family then?
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Like I've been so blessed with my dad and the opportunities that he has helped me see, right? Because he's been a lifetime entrepreneur, and he's always taken the time to mentor my brothers and I, right? He's never really given us money and big chunks of money to go start a business. All that he does, he says, hey, here's a problem that I see, and here's how you could solve it. Go figure it out and go do it.
Wow.
But he's always taken the time to teach my brothers and I. So we started with like a mobile detailing business, ran that for 2 years, and then sold it. And then I got into some Airbnb stuff, social media marketing, and then the Bin Blasters stuff, and flipping cars, like all kinds of random little businesses.
Dude, that's awesome. Yeah.
And I've just slowly pivoted, but my dad has been a huge mentor and guide to me throughout the process.
Who else has been a big mentor for you as you've been starting this business?
Yeah, man. So what I love finding people in my industry. So one that comes to mind is who I've talked to, not too much, but the advice I've gotten from him, it's been incredible. Case Lawrence, because he's in the franchising industry as well, right?
He's got a great story.
Right. He grew circus tricks like crazy through the franchise model. So I've been able to ask him quite a few questions because it's a similar model with Bin Blasters, because Case was the first one to take trampoline parks and franchise it, and now they have 300 locations. So that's our vision with Bin Blasters now, right? We're the first to franchise garbage can cleaning, and we want to grow it to 300 or 400 locations and make it a household name.
So walk me through the franchise model. I'm like really interested in this because like I don't think any of the other businesses here at iHub follow that model.
Yeah.
So what is the franchise model?
Yeah, so the way I like to explain it is like if you think of McDonald's, like anyone can go out and they can make a hamburger and they can sell it. But if you want to make a Big Mac, you got to work with the McDonald's and get their secret recipe. So what you do, you approach McDonald's, the franchisor, the parent company, and you say, hey, I want to be a franchisee. I want to open up my own location. I want to learn your secret recipe. And they're like, great. So you can pay us a fee, and then we will give you all of our secrets to success to open the best McDonald's that you can in your city. So you get their trademark and all of that, the recipe for the Big Mac, their marketing team, everything. And you get to learn what worked and what didn't work for them over the past 50 years and implement it in your own city. So that's what we do with Bin Blasters, right? We've spent the past 5-6 years developing what works and what doesn't work in bin cleaning, and then we share it with our franchisees. So the way it works, if you want to be a Bin Blasters franchisee, there's a upfront franchise fee, and after that you pay a royalty of 6% for our ongoing support to use our brand and to use our marketing team, things like that. So
that's super cool, man.
Yeah. But it's great because with franchising, it increases the value of your business, because when you go to sell it, investors, they like franchises because they're a proven model and a proven system, right? And you have the support of the parent company or the franchisor.
That is really cool. I love that. Do you guys have like a system for like vetting potential franchisees?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There is a whole process, and we turn down people all the time because they're just not a good fit. And we're responsible. Like, we want to make sure that we're growing properly, so we're very careful. And what we're doing, if someone doesn't quite fit the franchise mold, or maybe they don't have the capital, or we're not offering a franchise in that state yet because there are local laws that we have to follow, we still offer them the option to just buy our equipment. So we have a sister company that we just launched about 6 months ago. It's called GarbageCanCleaning.com, and we help people start their own bin cleaning business.
Oh, that's cool.
Without the franchise model. So we have an option for anyone. And just this past month, I think we've sold over 20 trailers. So we've helped over 20 people get started all across the nation just this past month with bin cleaning. So we build the trailer for them. We have a graphic designer that creates the logo and all that. We have a marketing system that we created that they can tap into, because we want everyone to get into bin cleaning. It's such a beautiful model because it's low overhead. You just have your equipment, and it's just you cleaning the bins. And there's unlimited potential, unlimited bins out there. It's a subscription model, so we love it.
That is super cool. I find that really interesting. It sounds like you're covering like both sides of the market. Like, you got the franchisers, the franchisees, but then you're also helping start other businesses outside of it.
Right.
Is that creating competition within?
Great.
How is that working?
Great question. So, like, we talked off air about pivoting, and that's what we're working through right now, because it's like, okay, like if we have a Bin Blasters location somewhere, we don't want to sell someone equipment, right? And so if someone asks me, if they reach out to me, exactly. But there are so many bins out there. For example, with my location in St. George that I own, we probably have 7 or 8 other competitors. And I still run into people that have never even heard of bin cleaning or seen any of the other companies. So in our minds, it's like, okay, yes, like our long-term play is just going to sell exclusively to Bin Blasters, the bin cleaning equipment. But in the meantime, man, especially for the states that we aren't currently operating in, can't legally with the franchise model, we still might as well help people because we have a proprietary trailer that we've created to be the most affordable and most effective on the market. So why not help people become business owners?
That's cool. What are like the restrictions that you're facing? Because it sounds like only certain states are allowing the model.
Yes. Yep. So with franchising, we are registered in most of the states in the United States. The problem is there are, I think, 13 registration states. These states, you have to go through some extra paperwork, and there's extra fees every year to get registered. So we currently don't offer a franchise in that state just because of the headache, and it's not worth it. Like California, Illinois, states like that. So if that's the case, if we get a lead, we're like, hey, we can't offer you a franchise, but we'd love to still help you out with the equipment.
Which states would you say are the easiest to franchise in?
Oh, yeah. So our model right now, we're focused on warm weather states. Arizona, Texas, Utah, Nevada. Those are absolute prime states because, one, that we're already registered to franchise there, and it's hot year-round, right? The bins are stinky. There's more bacteria, and there's more of a need to have those clean bins. So that's where we're focused now. We actually just are about to open. Well, this summer we're officially launching in Goodyear, Arizona, Des Moines, Iowa, and in Canton, Ohio. And we have a couple more that we're looking to close as well. Why close the deals and open the locations in Texas and some more of those warm weather states.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It sounds like that's very industry driven. For other industries, like which states would also be good to start a franchise in?
Yeah, so really any of the states, like you can look up the local laws and how it works, but there are certain states, once you register as a franchise through I think it's the FTC or just through the federal government, you're automatically in multiple states. I think over 30 states. Okay. But then it's those goofy 13 that they just make it a headache for you.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
So going back to, you mentioned you guys have this like proprietary trailer that you guys have designed. Mm-hmm. Tell me more about that.
Yeah. So we build these trailers down in St. George, and what we've done, we have tried all these different kinds of equipment and trailers, trucks, and we've seen that the prices have slowly begun to rise. Right, we would buy these massive trucks for 100, 120 grand, but now those same trucks were 160, 170 grand. So we were like, okay, why don't we just create our own trailer? And so that's what we did. Down in St. George, we have a shop, and we have a whole team there, and they have engineered and designed the most effective bin cleaning trailer on the market. It's the smallest, it's the most affordable, and it cleans bins the fastest.
Really?
So we've been selling those trailers like crazy because people are realizing, man, I don't need this $100,000 truck. I can get started with 50 grand and start making money right away.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
How long did it take to develop that new trailer?
And it took a while. And we're still making adjustments, like over a year. And we've just slowly fine-tuned it and gotten feedback from our customers because there are specific things you need to do. Like, for example, with the big trucks that you see, they have these hydraulic lifts, and the hydraulic lifts, they're designed to lift up trash cans that are completely full of trash. We don't need to do that, and they're an extra 10, 20 grand. Oh. So we eliminated that and designed a manual lift that actually lifts the trash cans with gas-assisted struts. Huh. So it's almost the feeling of when you lift the back of a car or a hatchback, how it just goes up by itself. Yeah. Same feel. And then we can save our customers 10 or 15 grand. So we've slowly fine-tuned that lifter as well on the back of the trailer.
That's cool. There's like so many different aspects of this business that I wouldn't even think of.
So much. Huh. Right? And then any customer that buys our trailer, what we also did, we created a digital marketing tool. It's called I Run My Ads. And what this does, instead of paying an agency $500 or $1,000 to run your ads, we offer it to our customers for the first year, and they can go in and they can run their own Instagram, Facebook ads. And after that, it's $100 a month. So what we're trying to do, okay, yes, we're making money by selling the trailer, but how else can we monetize and help our customers, right?
Build that residual income.
Exactly. Yeah, so we're offering marketing services, graphic design, and we're just finding more ways to make our customers' lives easier for them.
That's really cool how the franchise system, it's like you're helping other entrepreneurs build their own business.
Dude, that's what fires me up.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it fires me up because with franchising, you're able to help other entrepreneurs and help them achieve their goals. Because the better they do, the better we do, right? It's the royalty system, right? Mm-hmm. If they're not making money, then we're not. So we're incentivized to help them and help them grow their business. So my role, I am the success coach. So I help open up the new locations. So I have a whole online course that I put together that our new franchisees go through, and then I fly to wherever they're at. So, for example, over the summer, I spent a week in Kentucky and then a week in Logan training our new franchisees. And then this summer, so far, I'm booked to go to Ohio, Arizona, and Iowa, each a week at a time.
That is so awesome.
It's my passion, dude, because I love showing these entrepreneurs, hey, here's what I did with my location, what worked with my own business. Now I can help you implement and also avoid the mistakes that I made.
Do you feel like a lot of other franchises have that same model too, where they have like coaches and stuff?
Yeah. Some of them, I have some buddies that are franchisees and they don't get as much support, right? They don't have that success coach. They don't have that marketing system. So I've seen that, and that's why I love talking to other franchise owners or franchisors, the parent company. I love talking to the most to see what they're offering to their businesses and their franchisees, because we want to offer the most value to our franchisees and help them become successful and scale to multiple trucks with multiple areas.
What are some of the other challenges that you've faced as you've helped grow this company?
Yeah, man, it's been a long journey. We have had so many different spots where it's like, okay, like how do we pivot? How do we keep growing? One of those, so when I got on board with the franchisor company, we grew it to I think about 8 or 9 locations. And then we paused franchising because we were like, holy crap, like we've grown this far, but we don't really know how to best support and grow further. So we need to bring in people that are smarter than us to help us scale it. So we literally put a pause on franchising, said, hey, we're not offering franchises anymore. We're going to grow our team. So since then, we've just been selling the trailers, but then recently we brought on a team that specialized in franchising, because that was the problem. Like, I understand the bin cleaning business, but the franchising business is totally different, and it's a totally different skill set. So we were approached by a new team that basically came in and they handle all of our franchising side, right? So they handle the sales, the support, the marketing, because what they've done, they've worked with other franchise brands, right? Like a McDonald's or an Arctic Circle or any of those brands, and they've helped them grow. So they're doing the same with us, right? So that we can focus on what we're good at, right? Running the garbage can cleaning side, helping our franchisees get customers, and the franchise company can help us grow the franchise side and open up more locations. So that was a huge challenge, man, because it's like, man, I didn't realize this is a whole nother business.
Yeah. So you said you went to about 8 or 9 franchises before you stopped, and then you brought this new team on. How much has they helped you grow since then?
Yeah, a ton. So Casey, my partner, he has gone viral on social media. In fact, you have to show some of his clips because he has, I think, 250,000 followers on TikTok now.
Holy cow.
And millions, I think over 70 or 80 million views total across all platforms. Like, ridiculous. So he's always posted these videos and gotten millions of views, but we've never really had a way to capture them. So as we've built GarbageCanCleaning.com, we've been able to capture those leads. But now with our franchise team, we're able to send them those leads and say, hey, this guy's legit. Let's help him get a franchise, right? So that's what we're doing. And the franchise team, it's so nice because they just handle all of it. They know the legality of franchising. They know what states we can be in, what we can't be in. It has been such a burden lifted so that we can focus on what we're good at.
How'd you find the team?
So we were working with an advisor that we were paying to just consult us every month because we were like, man, we don't know what we're doing. Help us out.
Yeah.
And then this guy, Mike, he was talking to this franchise company and was like, hey, like you should reach out to Bin Blasters. Like they have so much freaking potential, but they just need the team to help them grow it. So that's what happened. And they reached out to Casey on LinkedIn and the rest is history. So
that's really cool. There's not any other bin cleaning businesses that are franchising, correct? Just you guys, or do you have a competitor?
There is one other that popped up, I think, a year or two ago, but I think they're only at 4 locations.
Okay.
And to date, I think we're at now 12 or 13.
Holy cow, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So what are your next steps in this business? Where do you see this going?
Yeah, so the ultimate vision is to grow it to 300 or 400 locations, right? You look at a lot of home service brands. For example, here in Utah, I see Any Hour Plumbing all over the place, dude. They're bright red trucks all over. And so our vision is to become like that, right? A brand that everyone knows. It's a household name. I want to be the Crumble or the Swig of garbage can cleaning, right? It's not a sexy business, but it's a profitable business. It's an industry that I believe of course it's emerging, but it's going to be the next big thing. Because if you think of landscaping, right? I talked to my parents, and back in the day, no one paid to have their lawn mowed, right? Everyone just did it on their own. But now a lot of people pay and hire a landscaper. Back in the day, apparently people didn't pay to have their bugs sprayed. But now everyone does. So we believe that bin cleaning, like right now it's relatively new, but it's going to be that next big thing in the home service-based industry. So our vision is just to scale this thing like crazy and give other entrepreneurs the opportunity to join us and to create the biggest bin cleaning brand in the world.
How's that going to work with your other business? What was it, garbagecleaning.com?
Yep, garbagecancleaning.com.
How is that dynamic going to work as you grow?
Yeah, great question. So what we see ultimately, once we reach a certain spot with bin blasters, locations wise, and we're still working through this, then we're not going to offer that side of the business, the garbage can cleaning, just the trailer, to anyone on the street. It would just be exclusively bin blasters. If you want our proprietary trailer, you have to be a bin blasters franchisee. So that's the ultimate goal, is to get to that point.
That's cool, yeah.
Yep.
So you're gonna eventually take those leads and just funnel it straight into your main business. Then.
Exactly. Yep.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have experience doing that as well, like building out? What would you call that? Like an online marketing system, I guess?
Yeah. So it's pretty sweet because with garbagecancleaning.com, like none of our competitors that build the equipment, none of them do any SEO work or anything like that, or any marketing. So we bought that domain, garbagecancleaning.com, and I have a team of interns that have been working for the past couple months that have been crushing it with SEO. And so now we rank number 1 for multiple phrases. Like if you Google garbage can cleaning anywhere in the US, we'll show up first, right? If you Google, how do I start a bin cleaning business? Or how do I order a bin cleaning nozzle to clean the trash cans? Or how do I build a garbage can cleaning trailer? All of those phrases, we rank number 1 on Google for. So what's beautiful is now we're getting all of these visitors, thousands and thousands of people to our site every month, and we're able to actually capture those leads and then convert them into customers. Right now we're building out a process so that if someone, for example, if you lived in New York and there's not a bin blasters there yet, you can request a can cleaning, and we would get notified on our website. And then if there's a bin cleaner in New York, they'd get notification on their phone saying, hey, there's a customer that has requested your services. You can buy the lead for $10-$20, whatever it is.
Oh, cool.
So that's our whole vision, because we own that space with SEO, but we want to monetize it and share those leads with other bin cleaners. But also, once we have bin blasters in all of those cities, our bin blasters franchisees will just get those leads, right? They would get them first.
That's interesting.
And that's what's beautiful about being a franchisee, is you would get exclusive rights to those leads that we collect. So we're just in the process of building it out right now.
What has been the biggest lesson that you've learned overall in this entire experience?
Man, I would say overcoming obstacles is just so key. And there's this lesson I like to talk about. So because business is just so hard, and you go through so many different challenges, and it can crush you, and it makes you feel lonely. So what I like to do, I like to imagine a box. Okay, if you imagine I'm holding a box right now, and imagine that it's labeled as fragile. Okay, if this box could speak, what would it say? It'd probably say, handle me with care, don't throw me around, don't kick me, don't toss me, because when you do that, I'm gonna break, right? And I'm gonna fall apart. The more you do that, the worse I get. But in my other hand, if you imagine I'm holding a box that's labeled as anti-fragile, if it could speak, what would it say? It'd probably be like, you know what, man? Throw me around, kick me, toss me. I don't care what you do, because when you throw me around, I get stronger and stronger. Not only that, I want you to throw me around. I want you to kick me. I want you to toss me, because the more you do that, the better I get and the stronger I get. I'm anti-fragile, right? So that's one of my mantras that I write down every day and tell myself, like, man, I'm anti-fragile. Whenever we get an obstacle with our business, man, a lot of times I want to just be crushed, and I want to be that fragile box and say, you know what? I'm done. I want to go get a job. Let's be done with this, right? But I try to have that anti-fragile mindset so that whatever comes my way, I can use it as fuel for my growth. Another way to look at it, it's like, okay, if I'm holding a candle in my hand and the wind comes to this candle, it would extinguish the candle. But if that same wind were to come to a bonfire in the middle of the forest, what would happen? It would ignite that fire, and it would grow more and more. So it's that same external stimuli, that same wind, but a different reaction to the fire. One side of it extinguishes the fire. The other side actually fuels it. So what I like to do, I like to use every single obstacle that comes my way in business or life, whatever it may be, as fuel for my growth, to become the person that God wants me to be.
I can see the business coach in you coming out here. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Before we started, you mentioned some personal stories in your life that played a role into where you got here now. Would you mind sharing more a bit about that?
Yeah. So, yeah, I've had quite the journey. So, kind of backing up. So all through high school, I had started random little businesses, right? Got into Airbnb, buying and selling cars. I think I flipped over 40 cars through high school.
Dude, that's insane.
Loved it. And that's a whole other story. But one day I was sitting in class at school and I dropped my pen on the floor. So I bent over to pick it up and my heart started to flutter super fast. I was like, man, what the heck is that? And the same thing happened the next day. And luckily I was wearing my Apple Watch at the time. And I tracked my heart rate. Mm-hmm. And my heart rate, it went from 60 beats per minute to 220 beats per minute at a snap of a finger. So I was like, man, something's wrong. So I went to the doctor. They did some tests. They hooked me up to this machine. And I learned that I was born with a disease called Wolff-Parkinson's-White syndrome. It's where I was born with an extra electrical pathway in my heart that misfires and causes that rapid beat.
Holy cow.
So to put it into perspective, like when I'm working out, my heart rate's maybe like 120, 130, 140. But I was just sitting in class and my heart rate would skyrocket to 220.
Holy cow.
Crazy. So yeah, the doctor's like, okay, like you have that extra electrical pathway. We just need to go through and burn the part of your heart that's misfiring. And I was at the time like a freshman and I was like, holy crap. So I went in and I had surgery and they went in and burned the part of my heart that was misfiring. Wild. And they rolled me back out and I recover. And I remember I was laying in bed and I was listening to a podcast and the guy, he was interviewing someone just like you and I. And he was like, man, for anyone that's listening, the biggest piece of advice I would tell you is to start your own podcast because it gives you the excuse to meet with people that you look up to and you want to pick their brain, and you can get an hour of their time and then you can get in their circle. And I was like, man, that's a good idea. So literally sitting in bed, recovering from heart surgery, I started a podcast. I went to Anchor, now it's Spotify, Podcasters for Spotify now, and started a podcast, The Psychology of Success. So I've done that for the past 4 or 5 years. I haven't done it recently, but I've interviewed over 65 people. People like the founder of Swig, Nicole Towner, founder of Bucked Up, Ryan Gardner. But that wouldn't have happened without my surgery and without just having time to just hang around. But back to like the heart surgery story, I was fine for a year. And then I was lifting weights and my heart started to flutter again. And I was like, no freaking way.
Even after the surgery?
After. Yep.
Oh
so I had that same and I just panicked. I was like, no way. Went back to the doctor like, yeah, guess we didn't burn it all the way. It came back. So
did it heal?
Apparently, yeah, no, not all the way.
Gosh.
They weren't used to working on younger kids. And so the doctor or whatever, dude, he didn't get it fixed all the way. He didn't burn it and freeze it. So I go in and I have my second surgery. And they roll me back out and they do some tests and they tell my parents like, hey, like his heart is still fluttering. Like one, we could just knock out another surgery today or we can wait and do it later on. But my parents like, you know what, 2 for 1, let's knock it out. And it's so funny, dude, because the doctors, like they're not used to operating on younger kids with their hearts. So I got to know them and they knew that, I must have told them this when I was under anesthesia. But somehow they found out that I loved old school rap. So I went out, they were rolling me into the operation room and they're like, as soon as I got into the room, they had over the speakers playing It Was a Good Day by Ice Cube. And all the doctors are, like dancing and jumping around and dapping me up. And I felt so special, because I was so scared that day. But it was so funny, dude, because they were playing old school rap while they were working on my heart. So I had that third surgery, great. They roll me back out, no issues, and I go back to normal life. And then, I think 6 months later, dude, the same freaking beats come back.
Oh my gosh, a third time?
Fourth.
Oh,
so this time,
fourth time, yeah,
right? Because you had the first one and then 2 in one day. So yeah, it came back a fourth time. Man, I don't remember what was happening, but the flutters came back, and I go back to the doctor. I'm like, man, what is going on? So I have one last surgery, and it was great. And but throughout that process, so since then, yeah, I still have had the weird flutters, but they aren't as serious, right? After having the 4 surgeries, they basically said like that'll just be an actual byproduct at this point.
Oh my gosh.
So basically every day or every other day, I still have little flutters. They feel like electric shocks in my heart.
Does it like hurt?
No, it's just like throws me off, dude. And sometimes it'll give me a headache or whatever. But they said that I don't need surgery as of right now. But throughout that process, I've realized like how much of a gift our life is and how short life is. So another mantra that I live by is this whole idea of memento mori, and it's Latin for remember death. And it sounds kind of gory, but to me and a lot of other mentors and entrepreneurs that I've met with, it's inspiring, right? Because we can go throughout life and realize, yeah, I've got tomorrow, everything's going to be great. But when you go through experiences like I have, it really puts things into perspective. Like, holy cow, like today is a literal gift from God. I need to do all that I can to actualize the potential that God has given me that's inside of me. I need to actualize that today, not tomorrow. And that's why I think we find our greatest happiness is when we're living up to that potential that God has given us and that when we're growing. So now in my life, I have a sense of urgency. So once again, going back to that anti-fragile, like at first, I definitely was fragile about my heart surgeries and missing out on sports and dances, whatever. But now I realize, man, like that is such a gift from God, and it's allowed me to pause and realize, man, this is the only life I get, so I got to do all that I can today to serve as many people as I can and to achieve the goals that I've set for myself.
Kaden, that is so admirable. I love that. Thank you so much for doing that. Like living in. I bet you make a great coach, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
That's so cool.
I love it. I could talk about this stuff for hours, bro. It's so much fun.
Man, well, do you have any last words? Any last words of advice that you give for entrepreneurs that are just starting out?
Yeah, I would say be willing to pivot, right? Have that urgency. Realize that today is a gift from God, but also realize like, okay, like my whole mindset was when I was younger, I was just trying to learn all that I can with entrepreneurship, starting all these different businesses to find out what I was good at. And since then I've realized, okay, like I feel like my skill set is sales, and that's when I excel the most, right? In coaching other people. So what I've done now with my business, I've found a way to focus on that. And everything else I delegate or hire a team to handle those other things. But it took me in high school, starting 5 or 6 different businesses, chasing 6 different rabbits, not necessarily catching any, but I learned the most effective way to go after that rabbit. The strategy that I like the best, right? With my best skill set. And so that's some advice that I leave for younger entrepreneurs and hustlers, like I like to call them. You know, take your time trying different businesses to see what you like and what you don't like, what you're good at, what you're not, and then go all in once you find something that works and clicks.
Dude, that's great advice. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing your story.
Absolutely, man. Fired me up.